Hey guys, welcome to another video. Now, today is going to be like a, oh, have you ever played this game? Or an introduction to this good game. Now, if you haven't played this, it's of course reference to skip it. So you can obviously kind of see it by the things you see at the start. Over there, and there. Now, as well, I'll be using this video to also start helping myself to get the jetpack double plunger. And yes, that's character. I need to do this, which is just so much. But yeah, I'll just do a video and yeah. Now, if you're new, you haven't played this, try to figure it out. I'll be showing the best weapons for early, and probably one of the best titans you could probably also get for early. Don't ask why I've got this equipped. Okay, first, the character you should unlock in early. Okay, now it would depend. Okay, mostly I'd recommend plunger camcorder, or one like the big camcorder. Those have one of the most firepower. Those have like some amount of firepower. And the Titan I'd recommend you to get Titan Amplifier / Titan Speaker, man. I don't need it because, well, I'm going for something else. Now, once you spawn in, remember I'm plunger and stuff, choose wave 1 and things. I'll be showing you what's the things you really gotta get in early. Now, if you have friends, good. Get them to play this with you and get stronger together. Things I'd recommend you to get, of course, headphones, jetpack, and lens. Weapons wise, always get the pulse rifle at the start. It's super good. It's got range, 30 ammo, and instead of having to reload and waste ammo, you have to just wait. Right? I'm gonna save up for something else, however, to get like really good things. Now, it's basically kind of like a defense game. You protect something from other enemies. There's a gacha system, and it's actually pretty cool. Okay? Now, it is really grindy, because some things cost a lot. But I've got certain game passes that helps a lot. Now, I'm doing this alone since other people in this actually kind of doesn't help me, just makes me a bit worse, since I'm doing this solo and I need money, and sometimes levels. Honestly, it's more about levels. Now, I'll also show on the best ways you can get Sen, okay, early on. Now, there's either two ways. If you know how to survive, dodge, all that, then get into a public and pray it's a high wave, alright? Because then you could try AFKing or dodging a lot of things to get, of course, money. And, yeah. But if you do not know how to dodge, then, well, sorry, but I'd recommend, I have a friend that has a private server, or have someone that's gonna be able to, you know, well, just mainly get a private and all, and then you should be able to do a lot of ways. Now, the abilities you have at the start are only E, but yeah. I'd recommend you go for the first option, in case you're poor. And, yeah. Do not get it instantly. I'd recommend you get something like Big Cam before you focus, right? If you're Big Cam, get rocket launcher and jetpack and stuff. And, other things, if you... sorry. Now, every 5 waves, the shop's gonna come, okay? It's gonna appear, then it's gonna go down, then you gotta go to it, and, you gotta buy stuff from it. For example, I've bought Knuckle, and it's where you can also heal for money. Now, I'd recommend, if you have an NG, don't heal by spending, unless it's a huge amount of health. only do it if you really, really need it. Okay? Now, once you've gotten your 600, get a pulse rifle, of course. I didn't because, well, I could just throw plungers. And honestly, it's much better than spending 600 for a weapon. Now, the things I'd recommend you target for, late to mid-game, which is kind of where I'm at, are either your first special Titan, right, and whatever. Just a lot of things, okay? Now, as well, one of the things you might realize early on is you definitely need help. And of course, please, do not be scared and not ask for help. It is a good thing to be helped, because that way, people can help you and you can get money. But, yeah. Get a pulse rifle from the start, or an EPD soon. Well, pulse rifle, of course. Then, well, I'd recommend you target, like, the little things, but if there's anything, like, floating up in the sky, target that first. As those can either be, well, area units that are spawning, shooting, or just anything in total. Now, once you've gotten some amount of money, you're probably going to say, what should I buy? Now, one of the things you definitely should buy is Plunger Cameraman. Well, as I said before, camcorder. You know, this guy. He has a heal, he can throw plungers, and he has a lot more range. He can also dash, drop kick, of course throw. Later on he can spin, which is what I also need to do. Right? He also has modes, and he can also throw a grenade! Right? But if you have a team, make sure, like, there are some people who are damage dealers or have, you know, Titans. Let them get kills, and make sure you have supports, okay? Cam, for an example. He's a really good support. He can upgrade you, make you have a jetpack. So get a support / Cam. He will help you. And I don't mean a small, teeny, worthless little bit. He will help you mega. Really big type help. As well. Now, since I don't have any friends who either have some of the worst PCs or they do have PCs, but I'm just not willing to try this game, or I'm just having social anxiety. I don't. Ah! Sorry. But yeah. Now, if you see any like normal toilets, but with barrels or some armor at the front, do not go towards them. Make sure that's ranged, okay? Now, if you do have, try to get a camcorder girl, because she has auto aim, which also helps with aerial units. But for sure, just get pulse rifle, everyone. Right? Camcorder girl is like for crowds. She's crowd control. So, yeah. But during the early, get something like a Titan. Okay? Not a special, just a normal. Anything can work, but mainly I just find that sound amplifier is the best, since he has a lot of range. Right? He can knock enemies back. He has a blaster. And not only that, he can shoot multiple times in one ability. Now remember, make sure that you help your team as much as you can, and let people get kills, okay? Because if one person gets all the kills, everyone else will get less money. Yes, it's like everyone gets money, even if you kill a single enemy, but it's so insignificant, and you'll actually never be able to afford a Titan like that. So let everyone get some money, and while it's happening or whatever, well, yeah. But if you're support, here's what I recommend you to do. Of course, you can also throw hands. And you can also deal a lot of damage. You can one-shot normal toilets and toilets like that. You also have a bigger range. Your E is like an upgrade, which is what I recommend you to do to all your allies. But only do one at a time because it's like a meter. You can only target one person at a time to be upgraded. So, yeah. Now, if you press Q, you're also going to be able to spawn units, and I recommend you save 1000 if you plan on doing that type of stuff, you know? Now, I guess other things you should know is no matter what, as I've said before, get pulse rifle, okay? So, I'm gonna get body improvement, so I become tougher, and pulse rifle. Now you can get shotgun, which honestly is only good if you have the dual version, because it's not actually that good. Oh, well, there's a difference, okay? If you are low health or whatever, make sure that you got some help. That's one. Now, other things you should be aware of is that there's mastery, right? Which basically means if you get more kills, you get levels. You get more levels, you can get your abilities, either you get new abilities or your current abilities get stronger, or you can just fly for extra time. Now, how many should you waste on a boss? It's just all the mags. Because it does around 900-ish damage if you use every single shot. Now look, I didn't reload, but I'm getting. Right? And if you all clump this damage together, right? And let's say you have all the friends that can be put in a private, right? Which is, well, I don't know, I think like 10 maybe. But anyways, if you get every single friend you've ever had, right, get them to enjoy the game, play it, and they all get pulse rifle, you can do, and let's just say there can be 10 people in a, you know, private, I think. I don't know if that's already the case, but let's just say 10 people, okay, can be in a private. Also, I'm gonna get a jetpack real quick. But, yeah. I recommend you use normal weapons for spider, toilets, or whatever. Flying is for pulse rifle, and bosses are pulse rifle. But you can just use pulse rifle for anything. Why'd I do that? But yeah, all in all, pulse rifle is almost a solution. Since you're gonna one shot, well, if anyone uses their first mag, well, you can basically, all just, if you've collected all your shots, technically convert them all into one shot, which isn't even possible. You can do 9,000 damage, which honestly, you can one shot, well, let's see what you can and cannot one shot. You can one shot, G-Man 1.0, G-Man 2.0, I'm pretty sure G-Man 2.5. You can two shot the G-Man clone, but you do require like 100 shots-ish. Well, so I don't know. Now, still, it's a really good game. You should try it out if you have friends. And, yeah, that's all I have to say. Bye!